Hey friends, it is psychic medium Josh Simons coming to you today with your Monday message. I've had a week off. A week ago, took a week off. It was wonderful and missed out on a Monday message. I was thinking about doing it. I said nope. I'm just gonna honor the time that I need, and I think that's really important for all of us to do. But here's a message for you today. I do this in hopes that whatever connection I have to whatever spirits and helping spirits and energies out there that I have, I can bring forth a message that benefits the folks that are watching this. And it's kind of hard to do that for the collective. Not hard, but a challenge, because we have all sorts of individual unique lives, right? And those lives have unique challenges. My challenges aren't going to be the same as a number of people here, and the same can be said vice versa. For all of that, though, we are all human, and we all do have a number of common challenges, right? Denominators, if you will. We're all born into this world. The fact of the matter is we're all going to die from this world. We're going to be removed or remove ourselves from this world. In between that birth and death, we have the opportunity for so much, right? And in this world, we need to eat, we need to feel loved, we need to feel accepted, we need to feel like we're serving a purpose. I really truly believe that. So for all of those differences that we might have across the world, across all sorts of races, ethnicities, what have you, there's more similarities, there's more common bonds that hold us together than separate us. I do believe that. So I'm going to bring you a little bit of message today, and I have no idea where this is going. I am going to pull a rune. Many of you know that I'm a rune reader and that I work with runes. This is a good rune to talk about the energies for the upcoming week, what we can expect collectively for the upcoming week, and what sort of wisdom from this rune we can benefit from. If you're not familiar with runes, they're an alphabet system from Northern Europe, very old, 2,000-3,000 years old. It's hard because most of the things that they were written on, like wood and leather and bone, disintegrated. So from the archaeological record, we only have really like stones, metals that have been left around. They do contain a lot of wisdom, each of these 24 symbols, and these are wisdoms that are common to everybody in this world, right? There's an ice rune, there's a water rune. Generally speaking, everybody deals with ice. Generally speaking, everybody has to deal with water, right? So I'm going to pull a rune here and trust that the spirits that are around me will help me bring the appropriate one to everybody here. Okay, so the rune that I pulled for today is my favorite. Oh, shit, everybody. There we go, there's my camera. So it's Othala. It looks like a diamond with a couple of legs. Othala represents ancestry, represents home, represents family, represents heritage. And that goes into exactly what the main reason that I got into this is the gifts that I have, they come from my ancestors. And my ancestors struggled and fought to get me to this day. I honor my ancestors by walking through this world with integrity and honor as best I can. That rune, and it's happened a couple times today for me, that rune will pop up in somebody's reading when that person's ancestors are proud of the life they're living. I was talking about common challenges, right? Things that hold us back in this world. I think it's safe to say that everybody watching this can be their own worst critic, their own worst enemy. And that's a generalization, I know, but I genuinely believe that humanity, modern humanity, is really sick. They were just really sick. Sick with worry, sick with fear, sick with self loathing. And we lack perspective. We don't see our own lives. And what I mean by that is, we walk through this world with our own perceptions, our own lenses, our own eyes, our own ears, right? And we experience everything subjectively, not objectively. We experience everything in the first person, not the third person. And the difference between first person is I went here, I went to school here, I did this, I did that. Third person is Josh was born here, Josh went to school here, Josh did this, Josh did that. So here's an exercise for everybody. Anybody watching this, I want you to do this for a moment. And again, this may not apply to everybody. There might be some really kick-ass people in this world who are watching this and they don't need this message. But I think a lot of people can benefit from this. So what I would have you do is for a moment, think about your children. And even if you don't have children, make some up in your head, okay? If you're a male, think about a son. If you're a female, think about a daughter. If you had a child, a son or a daughter, that was handed the cards you were dealt, and everybody gets a different hand in this world, right? If they were handed the life you were handed, and they turned it into the life you turned it into, all the struggles, all the challenges, all of the things that would have happened and presented obstacles to you. If you had a child that went through all of those things, overcame them to stand where you're standing today, would you be proud of that child? Generally speaking, most people are going to say yes. If you're saying no, I'd really have you sit with this. If you're saying no, that probably means that you're somebody that hurts people intentionally. And if you hurt people intentionally, there's not much to be said for that. And I am a big believer there's two types of people in this world. The people that hurt people intentionally, the people that set out to intentionally cause pain or imbalance in the lives of others. And then there are people like most of the people watching this and myself. We do our damnedest. We do our best in this world, and then sometimes the things that we do presents pain and imbalance to the lives of others. We didn't mean to cause pain and imbalance in the lives of others, but sometimes those things that we do indeed do cause that. Are you proud of yourself? It's a yes or no question. I can tell you without any ego, I am proud of myself. I am. I was born into a poor family. I've worked very hard my whole life to get to where I am. I've taken the opportunities and the gifts presented to me and done my damnedest with them. I'm proud of myself. I'm not full of myself, unless I don't think so. But I'm proud of myself, and I would have you, as best you can, see if you can hold on to that sense of pride, right? Pride's like anything. Pride is like virtue. Virtue, pride, they're like vitamins. You need just the right amount. If you have too much, you're creating imbalance and sickness, right? If you don't have enough, there's imbalance and sickness. You gotta try to figure out how to find that sweet spot of pride and virtue and those types of things in our life. It's amazing to me the challenges that people will overcome. The most beautiful thing about this existence to me, this human existence, to be part of Earth in this point in time right now, is to watch the perseverance of the human spirit in the face of adversity. And I've seen it over and over and over again. And, I'm sure I can say that I have persevered in the face of adversity, yes. But we're talking about you. We're talking about your life. And I need you to take inventory, not perhaps when you're watching this video, but generally speaking, take inventory of your life. If you have been handed adversity and you've overcame it, be proud of yourself, as your ancestors are. That's an important message. I really, really, truly believe that if we have these attributes and these skills and these characteristics, that if they were present in our children or our friends or our siblings, would we be proud of them? Well, if that's the case, then we must be proud of ourselves. I think a lot of people will shun confidence so they don't appear conceited, right? And that's important to know the difference. I know that I talk about this a lot, how important it is to be sure of yourself without being full of yourself. What are your powers? What are your strengths? What are your capabilities? And can you stand in those powers? Can you stand in that surety of self? It's not the easiest. It's not. The world does not want us to be full. The world does not want us to be complete. The world does not want us to be sure of ourselves. Generally speaking, it's due to advertising. Many of you watching this know that I have a son, 17 years old. He's halfway through his senior year. And I think to myself, wow, how awful it is to go through high school with cell phones and internet and social media. I missed out on that, and thankfully, right? And I think a lot of us here are aware of that, right? That we missed out on that, and you should be grateful. It can be really awful for kids. So I have this thought, and then my spirits come to me, my ancestors, my helping spirits, and go, wait, yes, that is awful, right? And that does present its own challenges. But you, meaning me and everybody watching this, you don't realize how tough you've had it. You and I have been alive in the age of advertising. And maybe some of you understand this, maybe some of you don't. But capitalism and advertising, it's ruined us. It has ruined us. Advertising, right? The messages that we receive from TV, radio, internet, computer, magazines, newspapers, all of it, generally speaking, is designed to create a default sense of inadequacy in us. It does. I will say it over and over and over again. One of the worst things that would have happened to people, generally speaking, but especially women, is maybe she's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline. We live in an awful time right now. Sure, there's like medical wonders and technological wonders and all sorts of things to be very grateful for. But capitalism, greed, advertising has done some awful damage to the human species. From the age of 2 on, that's when you start to ingest these messages, and guaranteed anybody that's alive today, unless they're living in the middle of a rainforest, they have been exposed to advertising, messages, commercials, magazine covers over and over and over again. Maybe she's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline. Well, maybe you weren't born with it. Screw that. You were born into this world complete. I truly believe that. Doesn't mean you don't work on yourself. Doesn't mean that you don't try to build your character and improve yourself. But the difference here is the struggles and the inadequacies and the failures and the faults that you define yourself by, they're a mental construct given to you by this world. That Othala rune, that rune right there, that talks about what you've gotten from your ancestors, what you've gotten from your family. And maybe you had the worst family in the world. Maybe, you were abused and tread upon and you've never known love. I I hope that's not the case. No matter that, everybody is here, alive in this world because they had ancestors who were strong. Doesn't mean they were right or virtuous. It means they were strong. And what that also means is that strength lives in you. If you had a child that was handed your life and did with it what you did with it, would you be proud of that child? I'm going to say almost 100% of the people watching this can say, yeah, sure. Well, if you would be proud of a child, be proud of yourself. Be proud of your accomplishments. Be proud of the way you've persevered in the face of adversity. And then stop beating yourself up. There's so many reasons why we feel the way we do about ourselves. So many influences coming into us. And I know I've talked about that before, but I'm a big believer that people are beautiful and complete, born into this world. That's a project for everybody this week. Take inventory of your life. And if you don't think that you'd be proud of a child, that presents an opportunity for work, presents an opportunity for improvement. Are you proud of yourself? You should be, because I almost guarantee you your ancestors are. It's not an easy world to live in, not even a little bit. It's tough. Do yourself a favor, please, over the course of this upcoming week. Find opportunities every day to show yourself some kindness, to show yourself you're not nearly the monster you think you are, to show yourself that these inadequacies, these faults, these shortcomings of yours that you suffer with every day, they're constructs given to you by a broken world. I am convinced you are not born into this world broken. And if you find yourself broken, it means you're a product of this broken world. Whoever's watching this, I need you to know there's nothing wrong with you. So much right with you. So take that, work on it this week. Find an opportunity every day to be kind to yourself. Or don't. I mean, there's a certain level of practicality there, or don't. Continue to wallow in this misery, or do your best to gain some perspective and try to look at yourself from the outside in. Do that for me this week. Make it a great week. Thank you for listening to these messages. I'll tell you what, Spirit, the world of Spirit, our ancestors, our beloved dead, hella frustrated with us. Generally speaking, we're all wonderful human beings with beautiful traits and strengths. Everybody brings a gift to this world that nobody else does. Everybody does. Everybody has something that nobody else does. The joy is in finding it. What's your gift? And are you proud of yourself? Work on that this week for me.